Success isn't luck, it's a daily system. Build habits that guarantee results. Part 1. The Myth of Luck and the Power of Daily Systems. A word people often whisper with envy, chase with desperation, or admire from a distance. Many see it as something reserved for the chosen few, those blessed with talent, money, connections, or simply good luck. But here is the truth the world rarely says out loud. Success is not a lucky accident. Success is built. Success is engineered. Success is a daily system. Behind every top performer, entrepreneurs, athletes, artists, creators, leaders, there is always a set of habits, routines, and disciplines that repeat day after day. These individuals don't wake up every morning feeling motivated. They don't rely on bursts of inspiration. They don't pray for luck. Instead, they design a lifestyle that produces success automatically, almost inevitably. This part of the article explores exactly that. Why success is never luck, why it is a predictable outcome of consistent action, and how you can shift your mindset from hoping for change to manufacturing change. 1. The dangerous lie: some people just get lucky. From childhood, society teaches us a misleading narrative. We hear stories about overnight successes, viral sensations, sudden fame, unexpected breakthroughs. News headlines glamorize the final result, not the years of invisible effort behind it. This creates a dangerous belief. Success is something that happens to you. But believing this lie has consequences. If success depends on luck, then you don't have responsibility. You don't have control. You don't have power. And worst of all, you don't even try. Because why would you? If everything comes down to chance, then effort becomes meaningless. But look closer at any person you admire, anyone who has built something extraordinary. Their achievements come not from randomness, but from a daily process executed with persistence and intention. If you analyze the story behind the story, you find the overnight success took 10 years. The viral sensation failed 200 times before winning. The lucky breakthrough happened because preparation met opportunity. The gifted genius spent thousands of hours practicing. Luck? Sure, it plays a small role, but luck is never what sustains success. Luck may open the door, but only habits keep you inside the room. The real formula is simple. Consistency greater than inspiration. Small daily actions greater than massive occasional efforts. Systems greater than dreams. 2. The reality. Success leaves clues. Top performers across every field have one thing in common. They follow systems, predictable rituals that produce results. A world-class violinist practices scales every day. A best-selling writer writes even when the words don't come easily. A top athlete trains on days they feel tired, bored, or uninspired. A millionaire investor follows financial principles with discipline, not emotion. A successful entrepreneur executes routines, makes decisions, and takes action regardless of mood. None of these people rely on luck. What they rely on is structure. The structure does the heavy lifting. Think about it like this. A seed doesn't grow because it is lucky. It grows because it gets daily sunlight and water. A muscle doesn't build because of random chance. It grows because of repeated training. A skill doesn't improve overnight. It improves because of consistent practice. A career doesn't flourish suddenly. It flourishes because of continuous learning and deliberate action. Success is the same. It is the compound interest of discipline, the small steps you take every day that appear insignificant in the moment, but transform your life over time. The question is not, do I have what it takes to succeed? The real question is, am I building the habits
that lead to success. Because if you build the right habits, success becomes inevitable. 3. Why daily habits are more powerful than goals. Goals are exciting. They give direction. They spark motivation. They create clarity. But goals alone do not change your life. Anyone can set a goal. Anyone can dream big. Anyone can imagine the future they want. But dreams don't make you successful. Habits do. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. A goal without a system is like a car without an engine. It looks good, but it goes nowhere. Top achievers understand this deeply. They do not focus solely on what they want. They focus on the daily behavior that moves in that direction. Want to get fit? The system is your workout routine. Want to learn a skill? The system is your practice schedule. Want to build wealth? The system is your saving and investing habits. Want to grow a business? The system is your execution plan and daily action. Want to master productivity? The system is your environment, discipline, and time structure. Your system decides your success. It is not magic. It is not luck. It is the small, consistent actions that accumulate into something powerful. 4. The psychology behind daily success systems. Human behavior is predictable. Your mind follows patterns. Your habits shape your identity. Your environment influences your actions. Most people try to fight their flaws with willpower alone. But willpower is limited. It gets tired. It fluctuates. It disappears under stress. High achievers don't rely on willpower. They rely on designing a system that makes success easier than failure. This means creating routines that become automatic, designing an environment that minimizes distraction, building identity-based habits like I am someone who, breaking goals into tiny, doable actions, eliminating friction between you and the work. They build systems that pull them forward, even on the days they don't feel motivated. Motivation may start the journey, but systems keep you going. Motivation is a spark. Systems are the engines that run long after the spark burns out. 5. The moment everything changes. Everyone has a moment when something clicks. A moment when they realize, if I don't change my daily habits, nothing will change in my life. This awakening can come from frustration, failure, exhaustion, or even hope. But once it appears, it's impossible to unsee. You begin to understand that success is not a mystery. Greatness is not exclusive. Achievement is not about talent. Results come from consistent behavior. You realize that your future is not determined by chance, but by your choices. What you do daily, what you repeat, what you prioritize, what you ignore, what you tolerate, what you commit to. Success doesn't come from doing something big once. It comes from doing something small every single day. This shift, this mental breakthrough, is the spark that starts transformation. 6. Choosing the identity of a high achiever. Before success becomes a reality, it must become an identity. Identity shapes behavior. Behavior shapes habits. Habits shape destiny. To succeed, you must begin to think like a high achiever, not in a fake or forced way, but in a grounded, internal way. Ask yourself, what would a disciplined person do today? How would a successful person handle this challenge? What decision would the future version of me make? If I were already the person I want to become, how would I act? When your identity shifts, your actions follow naturally. For example, instead of saying, I want to write, you say, I am a writer. Instead of saying, I should exercise, you say, I am someone who takes care of their body. Instead of saying, I hope I become successful, you say, I am building success daily. Identity is the foundation of habits. Habits are the foundation of success. This is the mindset shift that turns ordinary people into top performers.
7. The invisible work no one sees. The world celebrates the trophy, not the training. People notice the results, not the repetitions. But the truth is, every victory is built on invisible work. The books read in silence, the early mornings, the late nights, the sacrifices no one claps for, the discipline no one congratulates you on, the consistency no one sees. This invisible work is where success is forged, where small actions compound and strengthen your identity. No one will applaud you for doing the work. No one will thank you. No one will notice. But that's okay, because success is not about impressing others. Success is about becoming the strongest, most capable version of yourself. And that version of you is built quietly, consistently, and relentlessly. Chapter 8. Success becomes predictable. When you turn success into a system, 3 things happen. 1. You stop relying on motivation. You no longer wait for good days. Your habits carry you through. 2. You make progress automatically. Your routines create results even when you're tired or unmotivated. 3. Your confidence grows because you trust yourself, you trust your process, you trust your discipline. Success stops feeling like a distant hope and starts feeling like a mathematical certainty. Not because life becomes easier, but because you become stronger. Part 2. The Architecture of Success. Designing the systems that shape your future. If you wanted to build a bridge, you wouldn't start by gathering random materials and hoping for the best. You would create a blueprint, an architecture, something structured, repeatable, and predictable. Success works the same way. It isn't built from spontaneous effort or bursts of motivation. It is built using systems, the invisible architecture behind every achievement, every breakthrough, every meaningful transformation. In this section, we will explore the anatomy of a strong daily system, why systems protect you from emotional ups and downs, how to design routines that actually stick, the science of habit loops and automatic behavior, how small, simple systems create massive long-term results. When you understand how to design systems, you unlock the ability to shape your own future deliberately and consistently. Let's begin.
1. Systems, the real engine behind every success story. Most people admire the final outcome, someone's success, without realizing the machine behind it. The world sees the what, but very few understand the how. But high achievers think differently. They obsess over the process, not just the result. A champion athlete doesn't focus on the gold medal every day. They focus on their training schedule, their diet, their recovery routine, their mindset rituals. A successful founder doesn't wake up thinking about getting rich. They think about product development, customer feedback, workflows, execution strategies. A best-selling author doesn't write a book because they feel inspired. They follow a writing system, a daily word count target, a routine time, a structure for planning chapters. The outcomes are simply a natural consequence of the systems they follow. Here's the truth. Success is not the result of intensity. Success is the result of consistency. And consistency comes from systems. 2. Why systems beat motivation every time. We live in a world obsessed with motivation. People treat motivation like fuel, hoping it will carry them through every challenge. But motivation is unpredictable. It comes and goes. Some days you feel strong and focused. Other days you don't want to move at all. If your success depends on motivation, your life will always feel unstable. That's why systems matter. Systems don't care how you feel. They function whether you're tired, inspired, bored, stressed, or excited. Systems turn hard actions into automatic ones. Once something becomes routine, your brain stops debating whether you should do it. Systems protect you from emotional turbulence. Bad mood, busy day, low energy? Your system keeps you moving anyway. Motivation is a spark. A system is the engine. You might need motivation to start a habit, but you need systems to sustain it. High achievers understand this deeply. They don't hope to feel like it. They create a structure that makes action non-negotiable. 3. The anatomy of an effective daily system. A great system isn't complicated. In fact, the best ones are usually simple, minimal, and easy to follow. They are designed to work even on your worst days. A strong success system includes 4 components. 1. A clear trigger. Something that tells your brain it's time to act. A time, 6 a.m. workout. A place, desk is writing zone. An event, after breakfast I read 10 pages. Triggers matter because the brain loves predictability. 2. A repeatable action. This is the habit itself, the behavior you perform every day. Consistency matters more than intensity. A habit that is too difficult won't last. A habit that is simple becomes automatic. 3. A reward or satisfaction loop. Your brain needs confirmation that the habit is worth keeping. Rewards can be progress tracking, a sense of completion, body chemicals, dopamine from exercise, a small celebration, visual proof like a habit tracker or checklist. This is how behavior becomes reinforced.
4. A system for accountability, not punishment, alignment. Your accountability system can be a planner, a digital calendar, a friend or mentor, a community, a personal rule. I never miss twice. Accountability keeps you honest. It reminds you of who you're becoming. When all 4 components work together, habits turn from effort into identity. 4. The power of environment. Design beats willpower. We often assume that successful people are simply more disciplined, but discipline is not the primary factor. Environment is. Your environment shapes your behavior more than your motivation does. For example, if your phone is next to your bed, you wake up scrolling. If unhealthy food is in your house, you eventually eat it.
If your workspace is cluttered, your mind becomes chaotic. If your gym bag is ready by the door, you're far more likely to work out. If your notebook is open on your desk, you write more easily. Your environment silently influences your decisions all day long. High performers design environments that support their goals. Mediocre performers live in environments that sabotage them. If you want to change your life, start by changing your surroundings. Make good habits easier. Make bad habits inconvenient. Place cues and reminders where you can see them. Reduce friction between you and the action you want. You don't need more willpower. You need a better environment. 5. Identity-based habits. Becoming the person who wins. There are two ways to change your habits. Outcome-based. I want to lose weight. I want to make money. I want to learn English. Outcome goals only focus on what you get. Identity-based. I am the type of person who exercises daily. I am the type who manages money wisely. I am a consistent learner. Identity-based habits are powerful because they align your behavior with your self-image. They create internal consistency. They make habits feel natural, not forced. They remove the constant mental debate. They make discipline part of who you are. You act according to the identity you believe in. If you see yourself as a disciplined person, you behave like one. If you believe you're someone who follows through, you follow through. If you believe you're capable, you act capable. Your identity sets the ceiling for your potential. The moment you shift identity, your actions follow effortlessly.
6. The 1% system, micro habits that lead to macro success. Most people fail because they aim too high too soon. They try to change their entire routine overnight, overhaul their diet, build a business in 1 month, study for hours every day from 0, wake up at 5 a.m. when they normally wake at 9. This aggressive approach leads to burnout. But high achievers think long-term. They focus on the 1% system. Improving just 1% every day may seem small, but the compound effect is enormous. A 1% improvement repeated daily becomes a 37x improvement in a year. That is exponential growth. Micro habits, tiny habits you can do anywhere, anytime, are the foundation of unstoppable progress. Examples of micro habits: 5 minutes of stretching, reading 2 pages, writing 100 words, saving $1 a day, tidying your desk for 1 minute, practicing a skill for 5 minutes, drinking water first thing in the morning. These tiny actions do two powerful things. 1. They remove resistance. Tiny actions are easy to start. Starting is the hardest part. 2. They reinforce identity. Every small win whispers, "I am someone who shows up." Small wins lead to medium wins. Medium wins lead to big wins. Big wins reshape your entire future. 7. Rituals, the secret weapon of consistent performers. Habits are actions. Routines are sequences of actions. Rituals are meaningful routines, actions performed with intention. High achievers use rituals to stay grounded, focused, and mentally sharp. Morning mind rituals, creative rituals before work, evening shutdown rituals, recovery and reflection rituals. Why do rituals matter? Because rituals reduce decision fatigue, bring emotional stability, improve mental clarity, trigger focus and creativity, train your mind to shift states quickly.
A morning ritual prepares you for discipline. A work ritual triggers focus. An evening ritual resets your mind for tomorrow. Your life can change dramatically simply by introducing 3 powerful rituals. 1. A morning ritual that sets your identity. Example: gratitude, 10 minutes exercise, reading, or journaling. 2. A work-focused ritual that eliminates distraction. Example: deep work blocks, phone out of reach, single tasking. 3. A night ritual that recovers your mind. Example: reflection, planning for tomorrow, shutting down screens. Rituals turn your life into a predictable success pattern. 8. The success execution loop. Every successful system follows a loop: clarity to action, to feedback, to adjustment, to repetition. This is the loop that entrepreneurs use to grow businesses, athletes use to improve performance, and creatives use to refine their craft. Let's break it down. 1. Clarity. Know what you want and why you want it. Confused goals create inconsistent actions. 2. Action. Execution is everything. Ideas don't create results. Movement does. 3. Feedback. Measure what works. Track your habits, results, and progress. 4. Adjustment. Adapt instead of quitting. Make your system smarter. 5. Repetition. Repeat until automatic. This loop is the engine of mastery. You can apply it to any skill, any goal, any transformation. When you follow this loop, success becomes a prediction, not a hope.
Part 3. Mastering discipline, focus, and mindset. The inner mechanics of a high achiever. To build a system that produces success automatically, you must master not only the external habits, but also the internal mechanics of your mind. Success is as much psychological as it is practical. Your routines, your environment, and your systems shape your behavior, but everything begins with your inner world. This part of the article explores the true meaning of discipline and why you don't need more of it than you think. How focus has become a superpower in a world of distraction. The mindset patterns shared by high achievers. How to build mental toughness and resilience. The emotional systems that help you stay consistent. And how to become the version of yourself who always follows through. Once you understand how to direct your inner world, your external results begin to shift dramatically. 1. Discipline. The most misunderstood ingredient of success. People imagine discipline as a form of suffering, forcing yourself to do painful things, living without pleasure, grinding endlessly. But real discipline is much simpler and far more elegant. Discipline is doing what matters even when you don't feel like it. Not punishing yourself, not destroying your comfort, not trying to be superhuman, just showing up. Every day you show up, you strengthen your identity. Each time you choose discipline, you cast a vote for the future you want. The truth about discipline? You don't need perfect discipline. You don't need extreme discipline. You don't need discipline 24/7. You only need tiny, repeated moments of discipline. A single moment of discipline can change your entire day. A single day can shift your week. Weeks shape months. Months define your future. Discipline doesn't require perfection. It requires repetition. 2. Focus is the new IQ, the lost ability of the modern world. We live in the most distracted era in human history. Your attention is under attack. Notifications, endless content, social media, noise, multitasking, overstimulation. And because of this, people have lost the ability to concentrate for long periods. They rarely experience deep focus, which is the state where real growth happens. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The person who can focus for 2 hours straight
will outperform 99% of people who can't focus for 5 minutes. Focus is no longer normal, it's a competitive advantage. High achievers guard their attention carefully. They treat focus like gold. They protect their mornings. They create distraction-free work zones. They set boundaries. They avoid environments that destroy concentration. They work in deep, uninterrupted blocks. They choose creation over consumption. They understand that your focus is your power, and where your attention goes, your life follows. If you want to design a daily system that guarantees success, you must learn to control your focus, not let it be controlled by the world around you.
3. Mindset patterns of high achievers. Success begins in the mind long before it shows up in reality. High achievers share psychological patterns that create momentum, resilience, and clarity. Here are the foundational mindset traits you must build. 1. Long-term thinking. Mediocre performers want quick wins. High achievers think in years, not days. They understand that mastery takes time. Compound growth is slow before it becomes explosive. Patience is a strategy. 2. Ownership. High achievers don't blame circumstances. They take responsibility for everything within their control. Ownership gives them power. Blame steals power. 3. Adaptability. They don't expect an easy path. When problems appear, they adjust rapidly and intelligently. Adaptability equals survival. Adaptability equals progress. 4. Self-belief grounded in action. Confidence is not ego. Confidence comes from evidence. Evidence created by consistent action. Even small wins build massive belief. 5. Emotional stability. Success requires emotional intelligence, detaching from impulsive decisions, staying calm in chaos, managing stress, navigating uncertainty. High achievers cultivate emotional systems, not emotional reactions. 6. Obsession with progress. They don't aim for perfection. They aim for improvement. Just 1% better, just one more repetition, just one small win today. This mindset fuels consistent performance without burnout. 4. How to build unshakable mental toughness. Mental toughness isn't about being cold or emotionless. It's the ability to stay steady, calm, and focused when things get difficult. Here's how high achievers build it. 1. They embrace discomfort instead of avoiding it. Growth lives outside your comfort zone. Comfort keeps you stagnant. 2. They use stress as fuel, not an excuse. Stress is information. It's feedback. It's pressure that shapes strength. 3. They build routines to stay balanced. Sleep, hydration, nutrition, exercise, reflection. These are foundations, not luxuries. 4. They don't negotiate with themselves. If a routine is part of the system, they do it, even on bad days. 5. They practice resilience. Resilience is a skill developed by facing challenges, not avoiding them. 6. They stop expecting life to be easy. When you stop expecting comfort, discomfort stops hurting you. Mental toughness is built through small daily tests, moments where you choose discipline over comfort. Each choice strengthens you. 5. Emotional systems, managing your inner state daily. Your emotions shape your behavior far more than you realize. High achievers build emotional systems that help them stay grounded and consistent. These systems include 1. Morning psychology resets. Activities that elevate your emotional state before the day begins. Gratitude, journaling,
meditation, exercise, visualization, positive affirmations. These practices create a strong emotional baseline.
2. Stress management rituals. High achievers don't let stress accumulate until they break. They release it daily, productively. 3. Reflection routines. Every evening they reflect. What did I learn today? What can I improve tomorrow? What went well? Reflection stabilizes emotions and increases clarity. 4. Emotional boundaries. They protect their mental energy by limiting toxic people, negative conversations, energy-draining environments, and unnecessary drama. 5. Self-compassion systems. They don't punish themselves for mistakes. They analyze, adjust, and continue. Emotional systems give you endurance. Without them, even the best habits crumble under stress. 6. Eliminating the enemies of success, excuses, procrastination, and perfectionism. To become a high achiever, you must eliminate the patterns that hold most people back. Excuses. Excuses feel comfortable, but they are poison. Every excuse erodes trust in yourself. High achievers replace excuses with decisions. Procrastination. Procrastination is not laziness, it is fear. Fear of failure, fear of discomfort, fear of imperfection. The solution is to shrink the task. Start with something tiny. Momentum takes care of the rest. Perfectionism. Perfect is the enemy of progress. It looks like ambition, but it is actually fear disguised as standards. High achievers push for excellence, not perfection. They work, they improve, they release, they grow. Perfectionism delays your future. Action builds it. 7. Building the champion mind, becoming the person who never quits. A champion is not someone who wins all the time. A champion is someone who refuses to quit. They continue when they feel tired, when they doubt themselves, when they feel discouraged, when they face obstacles, when they fail repeatedly. Quitting is the only thing that guarantees failure. If you keep moving, success remains possible. The champion mind believes deeply, I don't stop when I'm tired, I stop when I'm done. This mindset doesn't come from ego, it comes from purpose. A purpose strong enough to carry you through difficulty. A system strong enough to support you. A mindset strong enough to keep you disciplined. An identity strong enough to make success inevitable. 8. Your mind is your greatest tool. Master it, and success follows. Every external achievement originates internally. A disciplined mind leads to disciplined action. A clear mind leads to focused execution. A stable mind leads to resilient decisions. A determined mind leads to unstoppable progress. Your mind is your architecture, your engine, your compass. When you master your thoughts, your habits shift. When your habits shift, your identity evolves. When your identity evolves, your results transform. And when your results transform, your life elevates. This is the real formula of high achievers. Mindset, discipline, systems, execution, success. It always begins within. Part 4. The Discipline Paradox. Why structure creates freedom. Most people hear the word discipline and instantly associate it with restriction, sacrifice, or a kind of emotional tightness that limits life. But high achievers understand something that the average person rarely sees. Discipline doesn't cage you. Discipline frees you. It removes friction, confusion, and emotional noise. It gives you space to focus, power to choose, and most importantly,
the inner stability that allows you to pursue ambitious goals without getting lost. To build a daily success system, you must understand the discipline paradox. On the surface, discipline looks like hard rules, but at the deepest level, discipline is the path to emotional liberation, mental clarity, and long-term ease. Freedom without discipline becomes impulse. Discipline without freedom becomes burnout. The sweet spot is where intentional structure supports your highest aspirations. Let's break the discipline paradox down into a series of layers, each one unlocking a different kind of freedom in your life. 1. Discipline creates mental freedom by eliminating decision fatigue. Every day, you wake up with a limited supply of mental energy. Every choice, what to eat, what to work on first, whether to exercise, whether to check your phone, drains that supply. Most people walk into their day with zero structure and wonder why their willpower collapses by mid-afternoon. High achievers operate differently. They rely heavily on pre-decisions, which are decisions made in advance and embedded into routines so the mind doesn't have to negotiate with itself constantly. When you know exactly what your morning looks like, what your priorities are, and how you'll approach them, you eliminate at least 50% of unnecessary mental chatter. And why does this matter? Because chatter kills momentum. Chatter kills clarity. Chatter kills consistency. A disciplined routine doesn't limit you. It protects you from the invisible drain of micro-decisions that sabotage your energy and creativity. For example, if your morning workout is scheduled and non-negotiable, you don't have to ask yourself, should I work out today? If your daily writing session starts at 8 a.m., you don't have to wonder, when should I write? If your phone stays silent until noon, you don't have to fight the temptation of checking it every few minutes. By simplifying the predictable parts of life, you free your mind for the important decisions: strategy, creativity, growth, relationships, leadership. This is why people like Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, and countless performers keep life simple in areas that don't matter so they can pour their energy into the areas that do.
2. Discipline creates emotional freedom by reducing internal conflict. Internal conflict is one of the biggest hidden sources of emotional exhaustion. You know the feeling. I should go to the gym, but I'm tired. I should focus on my work, but I feel distracted. I should start this project, but I'm not ready. I should stop procrastinating, but I'll start tomorrow. This tug of war drains emotional bandwidth. The more you argue with yourself, the more powerless you feel. Discipline dissolves this conflict because discipline removes the debate. Your mind becomes aligned, your emotions settle. Your actions follow a predetermined pattern that was chosen intentionally, not impulsively. As discipline strengthens, your internal dialogue shifts. Instead of, should I do it? You think, it's already decided. Instead of, do I feel like it? You say, my feelings aren't in charge. Instead of, maybe later, you say, now is the moment. This shift may sound subtle, but it has a profound impact on your emotional state. You move from passively reacting to your moods to actively designing your behavior. You stop waiting to feel motivated and instead rely on identity-driven action. The paradox becomes clear. Discipline brings peace because you stop being in conflict with yourself. And peace is one of the most powerful emotional states for productive work. 3. Discipline creates time freedom by guarding your schedule. Many people say they want more time to build their dreams, more time to grow, more time for family, more time for health, more time to just breathe. But here's a brutally honest truth. Most people lose time not because their days are too full, but because their days are too unstructured. Time leaks everywhere. Hours lost scrolling, constant context switching, doing easy tasks instead of meaningful tasks,
getting distracted by noise, reacting to other people's demands, procrastinating on what actually matters. High achievers have a different relationship with time. They guard it the way others guard money or valuables. They understand that time, once wasted, cannot be regained. Discipline is the shield that protects your time from chaos, interruption, and distraction. When you create structured time blocks, focused work, learning, rest, movement, you begin controlling your time instead of letting time control you. This is how discipline creates time freedom. You decide what matters. You decide when it happens. You decide how long you will give it. You decide how deeply you will focus. Suddenly, time is not slipping between your fingers. You use it with intention, with precision, like a tool, not an accident. Ironically, the more structured your time becomes, the more free time you discover, because disciplined people waste dramatically fewer hours than undisciplined people.
4. Discipline creates life freedom by establishing reliability. One of the greatest freedoms in life is the freedom to trust yourself, to know that when you say you will do something, you will do it. Most people cannot trust themselves because they break promises to themselves every week, sometimes every day. They say, "I'll wake up early," but hit snooze. "I'll finish this project," but push it to tomorrow. "I'll change my habits," but slip back into old patterns. Every broken promise weakens self-belief and self-respect. Discipline is the antidote. Discipline is the bridge between intention and action. As you strengthen discipline, a remarkable shift happens. You become reliable to yourself. And reliability is freedom, because you stop fearing your own inconsistency. You can finally build long-term goals without doubting whether you'll follow through. Reliability compounds. You trust your decisions more. You trust your habits more. You trust your resilience more. You trust your future self more. This inner trust is the foundation of unshakable confidence, the kind of confidence that doesn't rely on external validation or temporary success. When you can count on yourself, you are unstoppable. 5. Discipline is the craftsmanship of becoming your future self. Every day, through your habits, you are casting a vote for the person you become. Discipline is the artisan's tool. Each consistent action is a stroke of the brush, a cut of the chisel, a shaping of the clay. Most people live as if their future self is a product of chance. High achievers live as if their future self is a product of craftsmanship. They understand your future is sculpted by your daily system. Your identity is shaped by your routines. Your results are built on repetition. Your destiny grows from disciplined action. This is why discipline often feels difficult in the beginning. It's breaking old patterns, carving new pathways, reshaping your inner architecture. But over time, discipline becomes identity. And when discipline becomes identity, the effort required drops significantly. At that point, you don't force yourself to be consistent, you are consistent. You don't push yourself to act, you naturally act. You don't battle procrastination, it simply loses power. Your disciplined action becomes a reflection of who you are, not something you must fight for every day. 6. The art of hard things. How discipline turns struggle into strength. One of the most powerful advantages of discipline is that it trains you to perform even when conditions aren't perfect. Life is unpredictable. Work gets chaotic. Emotions fluctuate. Stress appears. Plans break. Distractions invade. The world doesn't pause so you can pursue your goals peacefully. Undisciplined people collapse under pressure because their actions depend on ideal circumstances. Disciplined people succeed under pressure because their actions depend on principles. They can write when they're tired. They can train when they're stressed. They can focus when they're uncomfortable. They can push through when others quit.
This ability to do hard things, not occasionally, but consistently, is what separates high achievers from everyone else. Every time you act despite discomfort, you strengthen your capacity. Every time you follow through despite inconvenience, you sharpen your character. Every time you honor your system instead of your excuses, you elevate your standards. Discipline transforms struggle into fuel. It is the practice of becoming stronger than your circumstances. 7. How discipline makes success feel automatic. At first, discipline feels like pushing a heavy boulder uphill, but over time, your habits create momentum. Eventually, momentum flips the equation. What was once difficult becomes easy. What was once unnatural becomes normal. What was once forced becomes automatic. This is one of the greatest psychological advantages of discipline. Once you build momentum, it takes more effort to stop than to continue. Your daily system becomes a path of least resistance. Success becomes a natural consequence of your behavior. You no longer chase goals, you align with them. This is the moment when everything changes. You stop fighting for discipline, discipline starts fighting for you. Part 5. The daily system that makes success inevitable. After everything we've explored, habit loops, identity-based action, discipline, consistency, and the psychology behind long-term achievement, it all leads to one powerful truth. Success is not mysterious, it is engineered. Not through one giant breakthrough, not through luck, but through a repeatable daily system that makes progress automatic. In this final part, we'll build that system piece by piece. A system you can apply for the next 30 days, the next 12 months, and the next decade if you choose. A system designed to eliminate confusion, reduce overwhelm, protect your time, and anchor you in the habits that create powerful results. Let's begin with the foundation.
1. Start with the core, your non-negotiable habits. Most people pack their mornings, afternoons, and evenings with a long list of tasks, but high achievers keep a very small number of non-negotiables, the habits that matter most, the habits that generate the highest long-term return. These habits, done consistently, create extraordinary compounding results. They do not drain you, they energize you. Your non-negotiables should fall into 3 categories. A. Energy habits. Habits that strengthen your physical and mental capacity. Examples: 20 to 45 minutes of exercise, hydration and nutrition routine, breath work or meditation, morning sunlight, sleep schedule. B. Focus habits. Habits that protect your attention and eliminate noise. Examples: phone-free mornings, deep work block, time blocking, daily planning session, clear boundaries for distractions. C. Growth habits. Habits that expand your skills, wisdom, and future potential. Examples: reading 20 to 30 minutes, journaling or reflection, skill practice, course learning, creative work. Choose 3 to 5 total, not 15. You can't build a daily system around chaos. Your system must be simple enough to survive on your worst days, not just your best. These habits become your anchor. Every day, no matter how busy or stressed you feel, these habits are executed. Not perfectly, but consistently. 2. The keystone habit: master your mornings. You don't need a perfect morning routine, but you do need a consistent and intentional one. Why? Because your morning is the only part of your day that the world hasn't touched yet. It's the only space that is fully yours. A powerful morning routine contains 3 elements. 1. Movement. Even 5 to 10 minutes of movement sends a biological signal: wake up, focus, act. It raises dopamine and norepinephrine, chemicals that support motivation and attention. 2. Mindset. Stillness,
gratitude, breathwork, journaling, something that centers your mind. This builds emotional stability and reduces reactivity. 3. Meaningful work. Spend the first hour on your most important task before checking your phone, messages, or notifications. This single shift, putting meaningful work before reactive work, transforms productivity more than any app, planner, or strategy. A strong morning does not guarantee a perfect day, but a chaotic morning almost always guarantees a chaotic day. Master your mornings, and you master the direction of your life.
3. The deep work block, the engine of achievement. Every high achiever you admire, writers, entrepreneurs, athletes, creators, thinkers, has a deep work habit. Deep work means zero multitasking, no distractions, a single task, complete focus, meaningful output, uninterrupted flow. Most people never experience deep work because they never eliminate distraction long enough to enter concentration. Your daily system must include at least one block of 60 to 120 minutes of deep work. No phone, no email, no social media, no switching tasks. During deep work, you write the book, you build the business, you learn the skill, you create the product, you design the strategy. You solve the complex problem. Shallow work keeps you busy. Deep work makes you valuable. If you want to rise above average, deepen your capacity for sustained focus. It's the rarest skill in the modern world and the most rewarded. 4. Daily reflection, the 5-minute habit that multiplies progress. Most people repeat the same day over and over, month after month, because they never pause to examine their choices. High achievers reflect. They calibrate, they adjust, they refine, they optimize. Daily reflection does not have to be complicated. A simple 5-minute journaling ritual will change your trajectory. Ask yourself, what did I accomplish today? What did I learn today? Where did I slip and why? What's one thing I can improve tomorrow? What's one thing I'm grateful for today? That's it. 5 minutes. But in those 5 minutes, your mind consolidates lessons, recognizes patterns, and reinforces identity. Reflection is how you turn experience into wisdom. Action plus reflection equals growth. 5. The one thing rule. Simplify your daily direction. Most people try to do too much. As a result, they do nothing exceptionally well. The daily system of high performers includes the one thing rule. Every day, choose the one task that matters most and finish it before anything else. This rule is simple but revolutionary. It forces clarity. It eliminates overwhelm. It prevents procrastination. It ensures that every day moves you forward in a meaningful way. Your one thing might be writing 500 words, closing a client deal, learning a new skill, finishing a chapter, recording a video, designing a piece of software, studying a complex concept. Do it first, do it well, do it without distraction. 1,000 good intentions cannot replace one completed action. 6. The identity check. Align your actions with your future self. Success is not about forcing yourself to act. Success is about becoming the kind of person who acts naturally. Every day, ask yourself, what would the best version of me do right now? This question pulls you toward your future identity. It closes the gap between who you are and who you want to become. If your future self is disciplined, consistent, focused, resilient, compassionate, creative, powerful, calm, strategic, then your actions must reflect those qualities, even before you feel ready. Identity drives action. Action reinforces identity. That is the cycle that transforms your life.
7. The system doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be reliable. High achievers don't aim for perfection. They aim for reliability. Perfection collapses under pressure. Reliability adapts. Life will always get messy. Unexpected events, stress, illness, responsibility, fatigue. Your system must be strong enough to keep you grounded even when life becomes chaotic. That means short workouts on busy days, reduced deep work instead of skipping it, mini habits instead of giving up, imperfect action instead of no action, showing up even when you're not motivated. Your system is a safety net. It prevents you from sliding backward. It keeps the momentum alive. Success is not about extreme bursts of effort. Success is about disciplined stability. 8. The 90-day transformation window. If you follow this daily system for 90 days, your life will look dramatically different. Why 90 days? Because real transformation takes time to compound. Habits need repetition. Identity needs reinforcement. Consistency needs momentum. In 90 days, you will build discipline that feels natural, develop routines that run automatically, strengthen confidence in your ability to follow through, improve your energy, clarity, and focus, make measurable progress on long-term goals, eliminate massive amounts of distraction, create a structured lifestyle that supports growth. Feel proud of the person you're becoming. 90 days is not magic. It's math. It's psychology. It's physiology. It's consistency. 90 days is enough to reshape your internal wiring. 9. The truth? Success is earned daily, not won suddenly. The biggest illusion about success is that it arrives in big, dramatic moments. The promotion, the breakthrough, the opportunity, the recognition, the victory. But those moments are only the culmination of thousands of unseen micro-actions. Success is the visible result of an invisible system. Your daily habits are the real story. Your consistency is the real engine. Your discipline is the real superpower. Success isn't luck. Success isn't magic. Success isn't fate. Success is a daily system, built intentionally, lived consistently, refined endlessly. And once your system is strong, success becomes inevitable. 10. Your future starts today, not tomorrow. If you take away only one message from this entire article, let it be this. You're not waiting for success. You are building it one day at a time. Your habits are the blueprint. Your identity is the foundation. Your discipline is the architecture. Your consistency is the craftsmanship. Your daily system is the machinery. Your future self is the masterpiece. The next version of you is not somewhere far away. It begins today in the next choice you make. Not someday. Not when life becomes easier. Not when you feel ready. Today is the day you begin showing up as the person you want to become. Because when you install the daily system of high achievers, success is no longer a matter of luck. It becomes a matter of time. If this message hit you, then don't just watch and leave. Like this video, share it to someone who needs this wake-up, and subscribe to this channel. Study yourself 1 hour a day. We are building a different breed here, a new generation of doers, people who don't wait for permission, people who build themselves daily, people who compound quietly and become untouchable over time. Hit subscribe, join the movement. 1 hour a day, every day. And in 1 year, your future self will not recognize you anymore. Let's grow. Let's execute. Let's dominate our own potential. Subscribe now and start becoming the person nobody can compete with.